My name is Deborah Porter. I am a community school alumna for Community School 53 in Buffalo, New York. I am here today meeting with Richard Stievater of Troutman Associates Architect. So we're going to hold a conversation about what life was like at School 53 back during the time when he was attending School 53. Okay? So Richard, give me a little background about what life was like for you when you were going to School 53. When exactly did you graduate from School 53?
I graduated in 1955, so I was there for all 8 of my elementary school years, which I think we were saying was 1947, 46 to 1955. Well, as I was mentioning, in those days, the schools were neighborhood schools, and everyone that lived in the neighborhood that was defined by that school area went to that school, and you didn't jump around from school to school as happened in the days of busing. But in those days, entire families went to the school, and they usually went there for their entire 8 years of school. I have 2 brothers and a sister that graduated before me. I was the youngest in the family. And we just loved the neighborhood, the type of school, the other students. We had a lot in common with them, and we played a lot together and did all sorts of interesting things before school, after school, and as we were talking earlier at recess, we got together a lot and had a lot of good times.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a question. So you started school in pre-K or kindergarten?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten. And what was kindergarten like back then? Can you remember? What kind of fun things did you do in kindergarten?
Well,
because I'm sure back then school wasn't the same now where kids go to school in kindergarten, you eat lunch in school, then you don't go back home until the end of the day. Tell me what that was kind of.
Kindergarten at that time, I think, was a little bit more like a preschool than it was a true introduction to first grade. I think we went there really to get indoctrinated into the school day and to learn to intermingle with other students and kind of get the feel of it. In those days, kindergarten was a half day. You either went in the morning or the afternoon. And I think our family typically went in the morning. I do not remember afternoon kindergarten. So we would go home at noon at lunchtime, and then we would stay home. And as we mentioned, one of the parents, in this case usually our mother, was home. So we would go home, have lunch, and spend the rest of the day playing outside. So it was just a half-a-day experience in school. But it was a lot of fun, as I recall.
Okay, so that's a little different than school is today, because you actually went home for lunch, and you actually came back from lunch and went back to school.
Right.
Cool. Now, during that time period, what was parents' perspective on education during that time period that you can remember?
Well, parents, I think, really expected a lot from the students. There was very strong discipline and very rigid academic requirements and following the syllabus, so to speak. So everybody followed the same sort of educational pattern all through the grades. But I think parents really tended to expect a great deal from the students at that time. It was just after the war. Everybody still had the effects of the war in their mind. This was 1947, so the war had only ended 2 years before that. And people were really now just getting back into the routine of normal living and normal school day and not thinking about the war on the news every night.
Oh, okay. And when you graduated in 1955, so you went to a public school for your grammar school years, then what was the philosophy of your family after your grammar school years regarding education?
Well, after, in my case, in my family's case, my father always expected us to get a very strong liberal arts education. Consequently, he decided that we would go to private schools. In my case, I went to St. Joe's, and both my brothers did, and my sister went on to Holy Angels Academy. From there, all of my family attended college. My brothers went to Canisius College. My sister went to D'Youville for educational teaching education, and I in turn went on to University of Detroit after college, after high school for architecture at college. So I was there for about 6 years after that, and consequently I became a registered architect in after graduation, about 1969.
Okay, and one last question. What exactly is your position here at Troutman Associate Architect today?
Today, I'm a partially retired. I'm past president of the firm. I was in charge of the firm for about 10 years, although I've been here for 32 years now. We've gone through a number of rotations of various people as leadership in the firm, and I ran the firm from 2000 to about 2010, so that 10-year span. So I work now part-time. I work about half days, and enjoy it very much because architecture is a very difficult field to evolve out of.
Okay,